Hi Rob.
Hi.
Take a seat. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
My name's Jason and I'm a member of the Institute of Logistics. Today I'll be conducting your appraisal meeting and I've had some notes from your line managers and the team leaders.
Brilliant. Nice to meet you, Jason.
You'll notice that we're in dress down today.
Yes.
You know, the organisation we support, Cancer Research. I'm sure you've donated.
Yes, I put £1 in.
Yeah, and expect to be sitting here with no suits and, out of uniform.
Yeah, definitely a good idea. I feel more comfortable already.
So we're off to a good start.
Yes, we are.
Okay. How's your partner? It's been a long time. Your daughter must be 2 years now.
She's 2 years old, yeah. My wife is well. The only problem with my daughter at the moment is that since attending nursery, she's been coming home with colds, coughs, stomach upsets, things that she's picking up from other kids.
Yeah.
So that's not been great.
My daughter turned 3 last week.
Oh, did she?
And exactly the same. She goes to nursery, everything. She comes home, but it's meant to be good for their immune system.
Yeah, it's difficult.
So, like I said, Rob, we're going to do an appraisal meeting, which occurs every 12 months. But you've had 2 interim meetings with your line manager,
That's
which
right.
you discussed goals moving forward, areas for development. And what we'll do is we'll just touch on those today, and we'll look at any actions to be conducted in the next appraisal year. How does that sound?
Yeah, it sounds great. My line manager, Mrs. Pang, she's basically been dealing with the appraisal, and she's told me about my objectives and that it's an opportunity for me to put forward any issues that I want to address.
Yeah, and this is a confidential environment, so if there's anything you need to talk to me about, then please do so.
Brilliant, thank you.
You're going to say I'm going to be making some notes today.
Yeah.
But feel free to speak openly, and we'll take it from there.
Yeah, good stuff.
Okay. So I know you're a warehouse operator, which is a very challenging role.
It sure is.
It's demanding.
Yes.
How do you think you've done over the last three months?
Well, I'd say since I started as a warehouse operator, I've successfully passed a 3-month probation period, and I believe that my understanding of the inbound and outbound processes have increased and improved.
Okay.
I'm experienced now in the powered industrial truck and the people up platform machinery.
Yeah.
I believe that I'm efficient, effective employee, that I ensure that I follow all of netporter.com's internal processes and procedures. I meet customers' needs and requirements, I'd say.
Good.
Picking up customer orders, packaging and shipping, and meet high expectations from those customers, really.
Yeah.
I've performed well against the KPIs and I've met each target. I'm satisfied with my progress, and I'm now wishing to develop my career as for promotion for a team leader role, potentially.
Right, that's really good to hear.
Yeah.
Yes, you have been successful. You completed your probation period, so well done. You have achieved all your targets, and we've had some really good feedback from your line manager, so very good there, Rob.
Great.
It's also good to hear that you've been thinking about your future in the organisation, becoming a team leader, and what we can do is address that in the learning and development section.
Right. Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
We all personally know, Rob, our own strengths and areas that we can possibly improve.
Yeah.
What do you believe your strengths are, and any areas you might be able to improve in?
I'll say my strengths probably lie in good communicational skills, and my ability to sort of prioritise tasks and to complete them efficiently and effectively. I believe my ability to operate warehouse machinery has increased vastly over the past 12 months I've been here. And this is due to my concentration, my motivation, to meet KPI targets set. Over the past 6 months I've met all my targets, and this is shown when comparing my sort of output figures and my target figures.
Yes.
At this moment in time I believe that I'm working well, and that I've not identified any new areas to develop. In my last interim meeting, I requested a refresher training course in using the radio frequency scanners.
Okay.
As I was not sort of feeling comfortable when using them. And approximately 2 weeks ago I attended that course, and I feel a lot better now about it.
That's really good, Rob.
Yeah.
So like you can see, for example, there, you've spotted an area that you needed assistance.
Yeah.
You spoke to your line manager, you've attended, and you've done really well.
Yeah, definitely.
So really good on that note.
Oh, thank you.
You don't have to wait for an interim meeting. If there's anything that you believe needs to be addressed, then speak to your line manager.
Right, I will do.
That's really good, Rob.
Yeah.
Happy with that.
Thanks.
We've noticed on some occasions that maybe you're not motivated or interested in the organisation.
Right.
You know, we're big charity supporters, and I haven't seen you at any of the events. Do you think that's a fair comment to make?
Yeah, I'd say it was true to a certain extent.
Okay.
I'm very interested in netporter.com and working for an organisation that's one of the largest online retailers for fashion,
Yeah.
cosmetics, luxury goods. I'm motivated by ensuring customers receive a first-class experience, as I'm very customer focused, and this is very important to both the organisation and it's important to me as well.
That's good.
However, I've identified that I do lack the ability to mix with the rest of my team, and I believe on occasions I have been excluded from social events.
Okay.
As you're aware from my previous interim meeting, I've been the subject of a grievance from a fellow team member regarding being overly aggressive on several occasions. I've spoken to my line manager about it and HR, and they've said that the issue is now resolved. I believe I've got a satisfactory working relationship with this particular team leader now.
Right.
I also believe working in various teams will assist me to build stronger working relationships and introduce myself to new members of staff.
That's good to hear. It's good to hear that you now have a good working relationship with that individual.
Yeah.
And it's been dealt with. That's
Yeah.
good to hear. I will speak to your line manager about looking at the time and when you can be allocated to work with new teams, and which will give you the opportunity to develop working relationships, and it will build up the environment and introduce yourself to new starters, which will be really good for yourself, and developing your working relationships.
Yeah.
So just make a note of that. I believe, Rob, in my experience, just talking to you now, you are a very nice individual. You come across very kind-hearted, and I think it's good that you work with others. So I'll make a note of that. You've had a good year in your performance. You've met your targets, but when looking at your KPIs, I've noticed that it has decreased over the past 2 months. How do you feel about this?
I would say that was an acceptable statement to make.
Okay.
It's taken me time to learn various acronyms, jargon, terminology that's used in the warehouse. Over the past couple of months, I've really had to sort of concentrate on my orders, and I feel that other employees were using terms that that I'd not really sort of experienced before.
Right.
It was taking me a little longer to process and sort of pick up orders, and I believe this may be a reason for why it's been perceived that my levels of effort have decreased.
Right.
Netporter.com is a very large organisation employing individuals from different backgrounds and working sort of experiences, and I've been here for 12 months now, and I believe that I'm still actively trying to digest new methods of practice, including the more experienced staff using terminology that only they would understand.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I do understand what you mean, because, for example, HR will use terms with me that I don't understand, and I'm sure finance will use terms that HR don't understand.
Yeah.
But it's good that you've highlighted this, and what I'll mostly do is I'll make a note that at the next weekly meeting, when the line managers are present, I'll inform them and tell them that we have new individuals starting, we have new people that are new to the role, and we should ensure that the terminology used is correct, so that everybody works to the same levels.
Yeah, that sounds like a really good start, and not all employees will adhere to this straight away, will they? But at least it gives some of the newer members of staff the opportunity to pick up and understand the business terms sort of being used around us.
Yes, no, well pointed, Rob. I don't know if you noticed about myself, I'm very well driven. I am very happy that the team have met all their targets. So well done. You are a strong performer, Rob, and when looking at the figures, it does show that there are areas that you could become a stronger performer. Other staff members may have longer work experience, they may know the practices inside out, and I appreciate you've been here for 12 months. But what I would like to do and the organisation will do is like to look at ways that you can become a stronger performer.
Right.
How do you believe we can do this?
Well, I do believe that's an accurate statement to make.
Okay.
I just wanted to say that sort of my KPIs show that I am meeting my targets. The team around me have many years experience, and I'm the newest member to the team.
Yes.
And I believe I've been with the organisation now for 12 months, and I believe that I continue to progress and develop daily.
Okay, so do you believe going into the new appraisal year that your figures will change?
Yeah, I think they'll change. I think my figures will show that I'm becoming more of an experienced staff member,
Okay.
and I'll continue to meet my targets. By working with different teams and experienced employees, I'll improve my existing knowledge on processes and identify methods in which I can improve myself.
Okay, so what I'll do, Rob, is I'll make a note that in your next interim meeting,
Yeah.
we will produce the figures again, and if they need to be discussed again, we will do.
Yeah.
But in my personal experience, I believe you will continue to improve. Like you say, you've only been here 12 months.
Exactly.
And I believe as your experience increases, so will your performance figures.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Thank you.
Happy?
Yeah.
Okay. Just moving on to another area now though, which is your absences.
Right.
Okay. Your absences, it shows you've had 8 absences in the last review.
Yeah.
Over the last couple of review periods. The absences were for a duration of 2 days within like the same times in the month.
Right.
Is anything we can assist? Is there anything you'd like to tell me?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, it's all to do with my daughter, really. She's not been very well now for the past few months, and my absence is in relation to that.
Okay.
My daughter's been going to nursery 2 days a week, and my wife and I have noticed that she's coming home with a cold or sickness in some form, but more recently it's started to be she's having trouble with excessive vomiting, and on occasion there've been sort of bits of blood in the vomit.
Right.
So my wife and I have been attending regular hospital appointments with her on the same days for the past few months. I wanted to speak to my line manager about it, but I didn't really know how to approach it, and I didn't know if the organisation would support me and my family in this time of need, as I've only been with the organisation 9 months when it all began.
Right. Okay. Well, I'll tell you now that myself, your line manager, and the organisation, we will give you as much support as we can.
Right.
Have you looked at the flexi working system or the special granted annual leave, agile working?
No, not really, because I didn't think it would apply to me with having only been here 12 months.
Right, okay. Well, it does apply to you.
Alright.
And what I can do is I can speak to HR about granting you special annual leave. Would you feel comfortable giving your line manager the dates when you attend the hospital?
Yeah, we'd be very grateful for any help. Yeah.
Okay. What I'll do is I'll make a note of that. Because your line manager, Anna Pang, she's a very supportive line manager.
She's
and
great.
A good friend.
Yeah.
And I believe if you can give her the dates, we can assist you.
Yeah, like I said, I can give you the dates,
Yeah.
and I'd be really grateful for any help that you can give. I can also bring hospital letters if you need those for proof for HR.
Thank you.
My daughter's sickness has caused many days of absence that I genuinely apologise for. But as you're aware, having a young daughter yourself, these things can be difficult.
Yes, they can be very difficult, and I'm happy that you've confided, and we will support you in any way that we can.
Thank you, that means a lot.
No worries. It is very difficult having a very young daughter.
Yeah.
If you're happy to continue, which moves us into the learning development stage.
Okay.
It's fantastic that you're showing your commitment.
Yeah.
And you're wanting to improve yourself. What do you think we can do to assist you to continue hitting your targets and increasing your performance levels?
I was thinking about this. A good way would be to job shadow an experienced member of staff.
Okay.
I think of the warehouse team, so I can gain sort of personal experiences, knowledge of the organisation. My benchmark levels are low now, but I believe working with an experienced member of staff, I can identify areas that I can improve my efficiency whilst continuing to produce good levels of work.
That's good. That's very good. It shows that you've been thinking about this, Rob. Yes, you will be able to identify new areas, tweak your working practice if need be. But I know that you have an experience working in like warehouses.
Yeah.
Maybe you can show us new working practices.
Yeah.
So I'll make a note of that. And this moves nicely on to like the team leader competencies and stuff. And I know you'd want to become in the next promotion phase a team leader.
Yeah.
How do you think we can assist you?
Well, I think the job shadowing will address my promotional requirements to become a team leader, as I'll be able to sort of gain experience and knowledge in that area.
Yes.
And over the next interim period, identify a plan with assistance from my line manager of building on my team competencies,
Right.
team leader competencies, sorry. I appreciate that this is not a short-term goal and I still need to focus on my daily targets. But in 12 months' time, at my next appraisal meeting, if I've gained experience and knowledge as a team leader and have strong competencies in this role, I'd like to request a visit to another branch.
Right.
For example, a visit to the warehouse in central France
Good.
to build working relations and also gain work knowledge of the netporter.com from an international point of view.
Yeah. Rob, it's really good to hear that you've been thinking about your future here,
Yeah.
which shows your commitment and your motivation levels. As an organisation, we are committed and we are happy to develop our staff. So this is something I'll definitely make a note about, and I'll speak to your line manager regarding your personal development and how we can identify the competencies you would need for your promotion board.
Oh, that's great.
Does that sound good?
Yeah, brilliant.
That's fantastic, Rob. What I'd like to do now is just a quick summary of this meeting to ensure that I've addressed all the actions that you'd like me to, and so that I can make sure that evidentially this is correct.
Perfect.
And we can have a look at the points right here. So what I've got now is, and please feel free to interrupt if you'd like me to add or amend. I will first of all arrange a formal meeting with HR to discuss your daughter's hospital appointments, and we can look at a flexi or a special granted leave.
That'd be great.
I can look at you working in the different teams in the warehouse to improve your knowledge and your experience.
Brilliant.
And to build that working relationship with others.
Great.
That's good, to meet newcomers and stuff like that.
Fantastic.
I will speak at the next weekly meeting about the acronyms, the jargons, and just to ensure all staff are using the same terminology to help. I will also look to set a date and duration for you to job shadow, to pick up those new experiences that will help you and tweak areas to help you improve your performance.
That'd be really good.
And lastly, I'd also look at you job shadowing a team leader, so that you can look at the competencies where you can possibly improve and highlight areas you'd like to progress in.
Great.
That's really, really good, Rob. Have I missed out any points?
No, all those points sound great. I'm looking forward to the next appraisal year.
It looks really, really good. It looks very promising. So what I'm going to do is I will write up all these notes. You will receive an electronic notification to say that your appraisal is ready to read. And you can then go on, look at my comments, line manager's comments, and if there's anything you'd like to amend, you can, and add your comments. And if you're happy, you can electronically sign it and submit it.
Brilliant. That sounds great.
Well, I will just put there that everything is good. I'd like to thank you for your time today. Nice meeting you again, Rob.
No, thank you very much.
Take care of yourself.
Thank you. See you later.
Bye bye.